The games are set for the NBA play-in tournament, and I don't know about you guys, but I think this play-in tournament might be the best play-in tournament since the play-in tournament has been introduced to NBA postseason ball. I don't have much of an introduction for you guys in this video. You already know what time it is. Y'all see the title of the video. It's postseason time. Strap in, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Let's hop into my predictions for this year's play-in tournament. We're going to start out east, where the number 10 Bulls play the number 9 Raptors. The Bulls finished the season 40-42, a little under 500. The team is pretty solid. They have some okay pieces. I stated this in my haters guide video. I just dropped that yesterday. Go watch that if you haven't already. But I stated this about the Bulls, and they're pretty much a team where there are a bunch of guys that are second options that are masking as ones. Prior to DeMar and Zach LaVine being on this Bulls team, we thought these guys could probably form into superstars. We already know DeMar was a very good player, and DeMar can lead a team pretty far into the playoffs, but he needed a little bit extra help to get over the hump. Now that he has that with Vujacic, he has Zach LaVine, he has Patrick Williams, who, I'm not gonna lie, Patrick Williams has been their best player to end out the year. Granted, the Bulls have been without Lonzo Ball, who's going through some knee issues. Hopefully he can get better. Prayers up to him, because he did have meniscus, I think it was cartilage surgery, not meniscus surgery. He was getting cartilage transplants. But all in all, when it comes to the Bulls, I'm not sure if I can trust them from one night. Yes, it is a team that has good players, but it's a team that you don't know what you're going to get from them night to night. They're a team that could look very trash, and then they're a team that could look formidable in the Eastern Conference. It's hard to call it when it comes to the Bulls, but the same goes for the Raptors, if I'm being completely honest. The Raptors was one of those teams that I watched a lot throughout the season this year, and I did this because, for the most part, I thought this team was going to be very talented, and I thought they were going to be a sneaky good team in the East where they would fall in the 5-4 kind of range, but that didn't happen. Siakam is leading this team, averaging 24 points per game, just under 8 rebounds per game, and he's averaging 6 assists per game, 5.8 to be exact. Like I said before, they mirror the Bulls in the fact that a lot of their guys are support pieces that aren't going to be the number one guy on a championship team. It might be a little bit too early to call that for Scotty Barnes, but for the rest of the team, that's pretty much what it is for the most part. Now, for them to win this game, which I think they're going to do, but for them to win, they're going to need to hit their shots early, and Scotty Barnes is going to need to be going a little bit early. Scotty tends to have his best games when he starts hot, he starts fast, and he starts aggressive, and he's going to need to do that for the Raptors to pull off a win. Now, I think they're going to pull off a win, to which they would play the loser of the 8-7 game, which would be the Hawks and the Heat. The Hawks are the 8th seed, while the Heat are the 7th seed. The Hawks finished the season just at 500 with a 41-41 record. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably a disappointing season for the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know if it is to the Atlanta Hawks fan base. I don't have too many friends that are a part of that fan base. However, this seems like a year where they thought they were going to be at least in the middle pack of the East and up. It seemed like a team that they're going to be where the Knicks are or where the Cavs are right now currently, but they just weren't that. Now, they've been hampered with a bit of injuries. John Collins, he hasn't been the same since he fractured his finger a couple years ago. And we just aren't seeing the kind of cohesion that we thought we would see with Trae Young and DeJounte. That's not me saying Trae and DeJounte aren't doing their thing, because they are, and they do complement each other very well. But I think we thought this was going to be a lot more of a in-your-face kind of duo, but it's not that. They have good nights. They have good nights singularity and together, but for the most part, I don't think they flash off the screen the way we kind of expected them to. The Heat and Hawks always battle. They are Eastern Conference foes, but both teams, they tend to hold their own. It just depends on whose night it is that night. Personally, I'm not worried about what Jimmy and Bam are going to do. I'm more worried about what Tyler Hero is going to produce, what Max Strus is going to produce, is Gabe Vincent going to produce. I'm more worried about the Heat supporting cast more than I'm worried about those two centerpiece stars. Now, I will say, there was a game against the Hawks this year where they held Trae Young to 8 points, and he shot just 2 for 13 that night. Jimmy Butler has explained that he doesn't really try till the playoffs roll around, and I think it's that time to try. Now, if Jimmy Butler is on his shit, if Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy that we know, the Hawks probably don't stand a chance, which I think is going to happen, and I think we're going to see Hawks and Raptors. Now, the thing with the East when it comes to me it's pretty weird because though we do have the play-in tournament, I think it's kind of cut and dry who we know we're going to be in the playoffs. I think 7 and 8 are going to hold, which obviously that means the Hawks would end up being the Raptors. But I think the East, it's easier to say while there's still good games, whereas the West, there's good games all across the board, but you can't really call who's gonna go where. Just like the Heat and the Hawks and the Raptors, they battle too every year they play each other. The Hawks won the season series 2-1, and Trey had a game where he went for 29 and DeJounte went for 27 to match. Like I said, they're a duo that works well together, but they haven't just shot out at you like we would expect. I would expect them to be in the upper echelon of duos, and they weren't really that this year. Now, I think the Hawks backcourt will easily cook the Raptors backcourt. They don't guard very well. You got Father Fred and you got Gary Trent Jr. back there. It's going to be tough for them to guard Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, the length that he has on both of them. Well, Gary Trent Jr. is pretty tall, but Gary Trent Jr., he's not really much of a defender. He's more of an offensive guy, while DeJounte is a defensive guy, but his offense has come around in these last couple years, which is why we thought the duo was going to be much better than they were. Like I said, I expect the Hawks to win this one, and they're going to retain the 8th seed. So all in all, the Eastern Conference, they're going to have the Heat as a 7th seed, while they have the Hawks remain the 8th seed. Switching gears to the Western Conference side of things, the number 10 seed Thunder play the number 9 seed Pelicans. Now, the Thunder come into this play-in 40-42 to end the year. Now, there's not enough I can say about this OKC team. Their record doesn't show how talented they really are. They have a young core with J-Dub, Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, and of course, their leader in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they're still waiting on Chet Holmgren to come back from injury. This season, SGA averaged 31, 4, and 5 on 51% from the field, while shooting 34% from 3. Again, I know they won't go far, but this team is very talented. They're very young, and like I said, they're waiting for Chet to come back. When he does come back, they're going to be a pretty dangerous team. I know there's people out there that say they're going to have too many mouths to feed, but I'm not going to lie. I think they're going to find a way. They found a way this year because, to be completely real, J-Dub, Josh Giddey, well, maybe not Josh Giddey, he doesn't score too much, but J-Dub and SGA, they probably could have fought for touches a lot more, but they worked very well. They were very cohesive, working together on the same floor. They're faced up against the number 9 New Orleans Pelicans, who went 42-40. Now, this is a team that's kind of like the Hawks, where they were hampered by injury. They're hampered by some unfortunate things throughout the season, but prior to the season, a lot of people had them projected a lot higher, around the 4 to 6 range. Of course, their star Zion has missed a lot of time. The first time they played the Thunder, he scored 42 points. So I really think that if he played, his presence would be felt, and it would be a lot easier to say they're gonna win this game. But because he's not playing, we don't know when he's coming back from that hamstring. It's very, very tough to call. Now, a bright side to this team is that Brandon Ingram, since coming off of the injury, has played lights out. Today, he finished the season dropping 42 on the Timberwolves, and he's been on fire his last 10 games, averaging 28, 8, and 6 on 57% from the field. Last time these two teams played each other, the Pelicans did lose. However, BI did not play, and when BI did play, they won, and before that, when Zion played, they won, and both of those wins were more convincing than OKC's wins against New Orleans, in my opinion, because in one game, Zion had 40, and the next game, BI had 30. Now, as much as I like OKC, actually, I love OKC. I'm not gonna lie, because I plan on making another video about their young core pretty soon. Now, as much as I think the Pelicans are very good and very talented, I think the OKC Thunder are gonna squeak this one out. I think SGA will be a lot for the Pelicans backcourt to handle. J-Dub presents a problem for BI. Granted, BI does play well against them, but OKC has the length to attempt to guard BI. They have a plethora of wings to switch on him, and honestly, they could switch everything, even with SGA, when it comes to guarding BI, because of the length that this whole team has. Obviously, BI is still going to get his, but at the end of the day, I think OKC is going to come out of this with the dub, which means they will be playing the loser of the Lakers and the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are the number 8 seed, while the Lakers are the number 7. Minnesota is 42-40, while the Lakers finished the season 43-39. Now, there was some turmoil at the end of the Timberwolves game. We saw Rudy Gobert throw a punch, which is ironic because, as I recall, and I did some research before this, he was one of the first guys to talk about Draymond when Draymond punched Jordan Poole, talking about insecurity or something of that nature. I'll show you guys the tweet, which is funny because Draymond kept the receipts and Draymond responded to that by saying the same exact thing. Now on ESPN, they did talk about what happened between the two, and it was essentially Kyle Anderson telling Rudy Gobert to do his job, Rudy Gobert being mad at him and telling him to help him do his job pretty much. Long story short, Rudy Gobert is trash, and that's what it comes down to, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Kyle Anderson, slow-mo, he's that dude. He played great basketball for the Spurs. He's played great basketball for the Timberwolves as well. I'm not gonna lie, the way Rudy Gobert is on defense and offense, he looks like an injured gazelle and all that other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised that Kyle Anderson is going at him, especially for the fact that Rudy Gobert is supposed to be one of the guys. He's being paid maybe the most on the Timberwolves. I'm not sure. I gotta check on that one for you guys. But regardless, he's keeping Gobert accountable. And when you can't answer to accountability, you're not the best leader, in my opinion. Now, the other side of this that makes this even worse is that Jaden McDaniels punched a wall. He fractured his hand doing so. So they're going to be without him in this playing game, which means they're without their best defender. That spells trouble for them because LeBron has been on a tear lately. He has finished the season going crazy. He had 33 points last night, and he's been in a rhythm. Now, the thing about the Lakers that I need to see more of is AD and D'Lo getting into a rhythm and more scoring when it's not LeBron doing it. Austin Reeves, he's done pretty well, but it would be great to get, the Austin Reeves of, March, February Austin Reeves, because he was playing out of his mind. It's going to be tough to get that because obviously playoff basketball things slow down and things of that nature, but it would be nice to see, you feel me? Now, personally, I think the Lakers are going to easily win this one. Again, there's a lot of turmoil with the Timberwolves. They're a very immature team. I stated this before. Cat and Ant-Man, they're probably going to get theirs, but without Gobert, who's more than likely going to be suspended, and without your best wing defender in McDaniels, it's going to be very hard, and I think the Lakers are going to be the team to beat them, which causes them to play the Pelicans, and this is the last matchup. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you because I know I don't make videos this long normally, but it's playoff basketball, it's playoff season. Now, the number 9 Pelicans will play the number 8 Timberwolves. Now, their season series is tied at 2 apiece, and every single game they played was single digit. Now, when Zion played them, I think it was their first game, he had 53. Spells trouble because he's not playing now. Again, like I said, Jaden McDaniels is out. BI has been playing amazingly. He's finished the season off very well, and I think BI is gonna be the guy to go crazy. He had 42 on them earlier in the season, and without Jaden McDaniels, without your best wing defender, it's gonna be hard. And I got the Pelicans coming out due to Minnesota's immaturity and an unfortunate injury that occurred to their best wing defender. That's all I got for you guys in this one. This was my play-in predictions video. I hope you guys appreciate it. Let me know what you guys have for the play-in, what you guys think is going to occur for the play-in. The first game is on the 11th, so you'll be seeing this video Sunday night, maybe Monday morning. I think I'm gonna do a reaction or review of each game. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It is your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube, and as always, I am out. Peace.